Discussing Petrie's legacy and especially Petrie's eugenic and racist ideas opens the door to explore how there are aspects that are contradictory, in my opinions, contradictory to his famous eugenic and racist ideas. And my aim here is not to oppose with the presence of his eugenic and racist ideas. However, is to explore a different aspect from his legacy, which is his encounter with the local workforce, the local Egyptian workmen that he trained to work on with him on archaeological excavations. The group of workmen that are more known today with the name of Guftis, and this name is attributed to their place of origin in Upper Egypt, where they first met with Petrie, and which is Kuft. And some month ago, more specifically in May 2020, together with my colleague Ashrakat Fakhri, the core team of our initiative, The Place and the People, we decided to go on an outreach campaign called Hands That Excavated a Civilization, inspired by previous work of Stephen Quirk, of Wendy Loyon, of Joanne Rowland, of George Maximilian, on the legacy of this group of workmen, in the aim of offering a different aspect of Egyptian oral history linked to Egyptian heritage and ancient Egyptian heritage, which is the legacy of this local group. Throughout our work in this campaign, together with our colleague and friend Mohammed Farouk, a current workman in different excavations throughout, running at the moment throughout Egypt, we discovered or we started to explore how this group and their descendants has their very own local perspective on their involvement in the excavation that is mainly ruled by their pride of the history of their ancestors. Throughout exploring the stories and the photos of the family of Muhammad Farouk, his fathers and ancestors, we could reconstruct like a small timeline of history from the late 19th century until today, from different generations of Guftis, and we discovered that there is a lot of work that needs to be done by scholars or people interested in this field to explore the different aspects of the history of this local group. More important, more important to us is to explore, or to myself and my colleague Ashrakat, is to explore their perspective of the history of their families, and from this reconstruct part of their social history and part of how they are linked to different points in the social history of Egypt at the time. Of course, these are examples of different recommended readings on the topic. And I think that the example of the local group of the Guftis take us to explore the other historical scene that is linked to studying or exploring the ancient Egyptian heritage at the time. We see here an example of a very random comic, but for me that it represents or it summarizes some important perspectives from 1879. We see a cartoon here representing the Giza Plateau and um, making fun of the Khedive, the ruler of Egypt at the time, as if he is exhibiting the ancient Egyptian civilization and heritage to the British colony at the time. So this is one of the perspectives that ties the ancient Egyptian heritage to the politics at the time.